G'day there guys, it's your main man Markee, back again with another episode of r/Am I the A-hole? Now I have started to provide chapters as YouTube calls it, so if you want to skip the intro, you're more than welcome to. I just want to say that I really appreciate everyone that watches the videos. I know it's a little bit like Mark narrations, but I'd like to think I can learn a thing or two by that man, because I think he's doing a lot right with his channel, and I want to start putting more positivity out there like he does. So in that regard, I'm also going to take the profanity filter away for a little bit and see how that goes for the content. And I may just say I love you a little bit more here and there. So if you guys enjoy the content, please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, do whatever you guys do because I love you, and let's get on to the content. Thank you. Our first post is by user ThrowawaySJE, titled, "Am I the a-hole for telling my girlfriend I was sick of paying for her to visit her obgyn when there's nothing wrong with her?" So my girlfriend, 39, gave birth to our daughter 6 months ago. Since then, it's been a continuous, torturous cycle of her visiting her obgyn for checkups, them telling her she's fine, and then her complaining about their expert opinion and trying to involve me, who is no more of a doctor than she is. After her first few postnatal checkups, she has now insisted on bringing me along because she was angry that her obgyn, after the 3-month period, found it unnecessary to examine her for tears that she claims to have, and just told her to go do her Kegels. At her appointments, she'll claim that she feels like her uterus is falling out, that she can't jog because she pees herself the entire time, or that blood clots the size of our baby's head keep coming out of her vagina, and that she has the worst back pain she's ever experienced. Her obgyn will in turn tell me that this is a natural part of recovery, and that my girlfriend was likely having a particularly heavy period, and that the only thing she needed an obgyn for was if she wanted to go back on birth control. She once even yelled at her obgyn that her urine is red, and her obgyn says yes, that's what happens when you're on your period. Our lactation consultant also got in a fight with her, which made my girlfriend start crying a while back. They basically said that there was nothing preventing her from pumping breast milk, and it's natural for women to suffer back pain after birth, and there's nothing you can really do about it. They told her to stop describing her back pain as if it was a kidney infection. My girlfriend had quit her job because she claims her back pain would make her customer service job unbearable, and now I have to pay for everything. I'm sick of footing the bill for Ubers and medical visits, only to be told that everything happening to my girlfriend is natural and millions of women are going through it and still manage to work high-powered careers, have more babies, breastfeed, and not go to the doctor every week, only to be told that they're fine and asked if they wanted to schedule an appointment for an IUD. Yesterday, my girlfriend said she wanted to make another appointment because she feels like something is tearing down there. I was finally exasperated enough and said I was sick of her always running to the doctor and doing the same thing, expecting different results. I told her I heard it with my own ears that she was fine and that I was tired of hemorrhaging money for these doctor's visits. Am I the a-hole? Just gonna be real here, OP. It kinda does sound like you are being an a-hole in this situation, and I feel like we see in these stories all too often that women's pain and women's needs go too unchecked. So she's gone to a lactation doctor and a bloody obgyn, and both of them are telling her to piss off. That just doesn't sit right with me. That screams to me, be a more supportive husband and get her to better doctors that will actually care about her health and not swipe her to the right and be like, get out. No, you're just here for an IUD if you want. Everything, all this pain you're suffering, natural, we don't need to fix your pain. It's cool for you to be in pain. Is a doctor's job not to do no harm? Is it not to help their patients out? I just don't understand why you can be so thick as a husband and not help her. She's in pain. Help her. Get her some help. Jesus Christ. You're the a-hole. Academic Panic says, what the fuck is that comment about it's normal for urine to be red on your period? No, it's fucking not. You're the a-hole, mate. Your girlfriend is obviously experiencing pain and discomfort, and nobody is taking her seriously. She needs to get a referral or find a new obgyn, one who isn't dismissive. And you need to show some damn support. Also, blood clots the size of the baby's head. Lordy, that is not normal either. This woman either needs a different doctor who won't write her off as crazy, and a different boyfriend too for that matter. Like, 2/3 of what OP describes his girlfriend going through are things I was told by my OB to call about and make an emergency appointment. A clot the size of a baby's head? That was go directly to emerge territory. So much of what the girlfriend is describing are things that my OB would be so alarmed about. OP, maybe you don't know this, but there's a huge problem in medicine where postnatal problems of women, including uterine prolapse, heavy bleeding, and back pain, are ignored or brushed off. So very real problems go untreated. OP, please educate yourself on this problem. Redoubtable South says, "You're the a-hole. She should get a second opinion from a different obgyn. What she's describing doesn't sound normal, and if she's describing back pain consistent with kidney infections and blood in her urine, she should be checked for a goddamn kidney infection. This is a problem faced by millions of women around the world, at any point in their lives, but also frequently after childbirth. Major problems are ignored as, that's normal, and that just happens after childbirth. But it's completely unacceptable, and you're doing the same damn thing to her." What do you guys think about this one today? Have you gone through complications similar to this one post-birth, or has your partner also gone through things similar to this? And what did your doctors say about it when it happens? Also, what do you guys think about the judgments for this one? I'd love to know in the comments. Our next post is by user 576759997, titled, "Am I the a-hole for my reaction when I got home and found my 6-month-old daughter wearing the same diaper for 9 hours? What the fuck? I, 35 female, have been busy with work. I'm a nurse and taking care of my 6-month-old baby girl and her 6-year-old sister. My husband works night shifts 3 nights a week, so he is usually sleeping at home during the day. He got himself a PS5 a month ago. He started spending time playing. He used to handle some of the house chores. Now all he does is make excuses of how tired he is and how much he needs sleep. But he'd come home from his shift and starts playing. He drinks a lot of coffee to stay concentrated and awake. Also, he stopped eating properly. Keeps forgetting to do things that I ask him to do, like help fix his daughter's toys or take turns in changing diapers, etc. I started calling my mum to come help since he'd been too busy to do simple things. He didn't like that I asked others for help and said I didn't have to, that he'll start helping again. I actually believed him and left for my 8-hour shift at the hospital, and before I left, I reminded him of everything he needed to do, from feeding and changing diapers to cleaning our daughter's room, etc. He said, "Don't worry about it," and then I left. I called him to check on the kids and he said everything was fine. I came home in the evening and I was shocked to see our 6-month-old bed was put in the living room, her stuff on the couch while he was playing. She didn't stop crying. He said he didn't know what was wrong. Turned out he didn't change the diaper after I left. She was wearing the same diaper for 9 hours. He said he forgot, but he was busy playing. I immediately took care of her. I knew her rash was going to get worse after that. My 6-year-old's hair was a mess and he didn't brush her hair. The kitchen was a mess. I was livid and kept yelling at him for being neglectful and reckless and literally forgetting about his own kids over a game. He said that I was overreacting and that it was my fault for not reminding him on the phone. I told him it was my fault for leaving the kids with someone who doesn't even brush his teeth. He got offended and left the house minutes later. His mum called me, telling me that my husband stays up at night to make a living for his kids, and that I was pressuring him by giving him more than he can handle. I tried to explain, but she kept lashing out, calling me controlling, and said I might be frustrated from my job, that's why I'm taking it out on him. I hung up on her and had to take care of all that mess. Sorry for any mistakes, I'm just so exhausted. Yeah, I don't understand where this husband gets off doing this. There's only so much you can tolerate with one person shagging off their duties like this, but Jesus Christ. In a sense, you've been enabling this behavior by not doing anything about it by now. I'm not attacking you for that. I'm just saying that this should have been nipped in the bud as soon as he got that PS5. Perhaps this is an element of this man that you've never seen before because he hasn't shown it, and now he is? And to me, this sounds like a genuine big relationship deal breaker, like a big red flag smacking me in the face. If he seriously is going to neglect his kids over a PS5, I would honestly second guess this relationship and if I wanted to stay in it, and I'm not sure you should. If he was fine before this, and this is just a depression slight, a mental illness slight, he's not doing too well right now, then yeah, give him a second chance, but if it's going to continue and get worse into the future, that's bad. For the current situation as it stands, I don't think you're the a-hole for your reaction to this. I would be pissed off as well, and I would have a massive argument. I'd send the kids to a family friend first, but then I'd go off on him. Not the a-hole. You're justified. Acceptable letter 331 says, not the a-hole. If my husband did this, him and his PS5 would be out the door. And OP replies, you know what he told me? He says I don't get to tell him how much he earns and how much time he should spend playing since he purchased it with his own money. This annoyed me. Like he's shaming me for not contributing like it's an important thing. Again, he could talk until he's blue in the face. I don't give a fuck. If my husband let a child sit and piss for 8 hours, he would be hearing from my divorce lawyer. I'm sure the pictures of the rash left behind could be good evidence in court. Dr. Seuss' grandchild says, not the a-hole. Your husband isn't a competent father and is blaming you for it. Eternity 24601 says, that's legal neglect, like thousands of dollars fine and possible jail time neglect. Not changing an infant's diapers for 9 hours. Either he needs to wake the F up, or you should take the kids and go. Because I don't see that behavior changing anytime soon. And on top of the diaper, did he even feed the baby? If he couldn't be bothered to change the diaper, did he bother to take the time to feed her? I mean, the diaper you can tell, but you can't tell if she ate since she was already crying anyway. OP needs to get the hell out. If a grown man can't be trusted to not neglect and abuse a baby and a child, his own kids even, then he's not husband material. He is divorce and terminated parental rights material. And I'm going to throw this one to you guys. What would you do in this situation? Would you be just as angry as I have been at this man? Would you kick his ass out in the street? Or would you try to work things out? And if you have been in similar situations, what's your story? Also, do you think they're the a-hole for this? I'd love to know. Our next post is by user Audi Supreme, titled, would I be the a-hole for returning my husband's Christmas present after he snooped, opened, and started using it? Just as a startup, I would like to say that he literally went digging to find the gift. I hid it in our attic in a tote of summer clothing, which he literally never gets into. He never steps foot in that attic because he is terrified of spiders. So, anyways, my husband has been saying for months that the only thing he wanted for Christmas was a VR headset. He's wanted one since they came out with them, so it's been a hot minute that he's been obsessed with these rigs. So when I found the VR he wanted on Black Friday for $200 less than the original asking price, I immediately bought it. When I got home with the gifts, he was in the garage, so I quickly ran the item into the attic and hid it. The item was still in the box, in the bag, with the receipt not wrapped. When I was in the attic, my husband came inside, that's what she said, and yelled up the stairs to ask what I was doing, and I told him I was sifting through stuff to see if I had any extra snow pants for a friend, which she had asked me for the day prior. He didn't question it at that point. However, he must have felt something was up because when I left for work the next day, he found the girl after he went shopping. I came home early from work due to them scheduling too many people on, and when I returned, I found him in the living room with the VR all set up and him playing some game. Meaning he went through the entire setup process and downloaded the games already. I was so pissed off and upset about this. Not only did he ruin the surprise, but I didn't get to see his fucking face light up when he opened it, which I had been looking forward to. As soon as he heard me clear my throat, he ripped the headset off and said something like, "Oh, you're home early? I found this and wanted to test it out before you gave it to whoever you bought it for." I will admit that me immediately starting to cry was over the top excessive. I was just extremely bummed out. I think that's when he gathered that the item was for him. However, I walked out, got in my car, and took off to our local park to sit by myself for a minute. He texted me and said, "I'm sorry, I didn't know it was for me. You know how long I've wanted one of these bad boys, so I truly just wanted to test it out. I thought it was for your brother. But no offense, you're acting like you came home and saw me with another woman or something." I didn't respond. Would I be the a-hole if I returned the gift because he snooped, opened it, and ruined the surprise for me? I'll admit I went to the comments to get a second opinion on this one after I did an entire, ramble about everyone sucks here, and I realized I was wrong because the comments give me some insight. I initially argued that OP returning the gift to the store was a bigger dick move than him lying and, going through the entire process and cock-blocking your emotions. And it turns out that I was wrong about that. I think this is not the a-hole judgment. I think his lies and deception were much bigger than anything you've done in this story. So I think it's fair that you would go and return it and get something else. I think he needs to learn a lesson from this one. If he's going to snoop and figure it out, don't go through the entire process of setting it up. That's a dick move. At least just see it, walk away, and feign surprise when you get the gift. He knows his partner better than anyone else, and this was malicious. So I'm going to go with not the a-hole. Hannah's Flora says, "Not the a-hole. You know this, but your husband is lying. He didn't think it was for your brother. He knew it was for him. Those VR headsets require you to either set up a new account or link an existing one. So by his own story, he took your brother's gift and just put all of his own shit into it? Come on. He knows he fucked up, but is trying to deflect back on you by making you feel bad for your reaction. And by the way, given this exact setup, I would have cried too. Don't blame yourself for crying. It wasn't excessive. It was absolutely understandable." Amazing Grease replies, "This response is 100% OP. Talk to your husband, and if he can admit that he was lying and didn't expect to be caught, don't return the present, but do take it away until Christmas. He lied and tried to gaslight you. It was wrong to do on all levels regardless of his intent, but if he can't be honest with you, then you would not be the a-hole for returning the present. No one opens a present for someone else and starts using it as a gesture of goodwill." Counting the Ravens says, "Not the a-hole, and honestly, his response would piss me off even more, because he's trying to shift the problem from himself to you. He says, 'Well, yeah, I opened the game, but you overreacted like crazy. Jeez, what's your problem?' Return it and get him $200 worth of socks in the VR headset box. But make sure you hide that box again, just to see what happens this time. Don't return the VR, but do the socks thing. Just not $200 worth. Just enough to fill the VR box. Put the VR headset in a boring brown box and wrap it up and hide it at a friend's place. Give that VR to your brother, and then put the socks in the VR box. When he opens it, just say, 'You were right that brother would appreciate the VR headset more. I appreciate your sentiment and kindness to wanting to test it out for him. I couldn't afford anything for you because of the headset I bought the brother, so I got you these socks instead. I was going to put it in a brown box, but the VR box was already opened and torn into. I didn't want brother thinking that it was broken and tampered with. You understand, right?' And I guess I put the question on you guys now. What would you guys do in this situation? Would you go atomic and fill the VR box with socks and give it to the brother? Would you scold the husband for his actions like everyone's telling OP to? Me personally, I would just wrap it up and tell him he can't have it till Christmas. That's a bit of a passive approach, but I think it's the easiest in this situation if the husband is willing to negotiate the situation and come back to a middle ground. And if he's willing to genuinely apologize, that's fine too. I think people can learn from their mistakes and their stupid actions. As they always say, Hanlon's razor, never attribute malice to which is adequately explained by stupidity. Some bad things might happen, not because of people having bad intentions, but because they did not think it through properly. So that could well be what's going on in this situation. I don't know, I'm not an all-seeing eye, and I'm not the voice of reason, as we know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Who's the a-hole here? Who isn't the a-hole? And tell me how your day's going. And I think that's where I'm going to wrap up today's episode, guys. I really hope you did enjoy the content. I just went to IKEA today and bought a new big desk, and I'm thinking of streaming soon. I've just ordered a bunch of streaming supplies in, and, I'm keen to have a conversation with you guys on Twitch and hear your stories and tell you a bit about my life and whatever. I'm just trying to get that all sorted out now. It's been a slow process. It's a bit sad like that, Nothing fast really happens in Australia, eh? Oh well, hope you guys have a good day, night, sleep, whatever you're up to. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.